Hello and welcome to Rats. Let's talk more about the warm-up. Last time I covered general warm-up, those 10 minutes of light activity you do at the beginning of your workout. Today is about specific warm-up, those lighter sets you do before each exercise. The main difference between warm-up and working sets, simply put, warm-up sets are not supposed to make you or your muscles tired, whereas with a working set, bringing the target muscle close to failure, in other words, making it so tired it can hardly perform more reps, is kind of the point. So, how many warm-up sets should you do and with what weight? If you're in the earlier stage of your lifting journey, a simple rule of thumb would be do 2 warm-up sets. First, take 50 to 60% of your working weight and do about 8 to 10 reps. Then take about 70 to 80% and do 3 to 5 reps. Important note, that percentage is based on the weight you'll use for your working sets, not your 1 rep max. Don't rush them. Do them slow, maybe with a slight pause at the bottom, focusing on your technique and remember your form cues. It's time for you to connect with the movement mentally and let your joints and muscles go through the full range of motion. You don't necessarily need to rest between the warm-up sets. Usually the time it takes to switch the weights is enough. But if you wish, you may take a short break before the first working set to make sure you're physically and mentally ready. When should you do more warm-up sets? If it's the first lift of the day, I would err on the side of caution and do an extra set. If it's a heavy compound movement, like heavy squats or deadlifts or presses, you might bump up the weight more gradually, the heavier it gets. For example, for my deadlifts, I do 5 to 6 warm-up sets now. If you have a specifically weak, injury-prone or recently injured area, makes total sense to do as many warm-up sets as it takes to feel warm and confident. When can you do fewer warm-up sets? If it's an isolation movement, especially in the high rep range like 12 or 15 or more, and especially if it comes later in the workout, I often do just 1 warm-up set, like with 70% of the working weight. I would not recommend skipping it entirely though. It costs almost nothing but can improve your performance and may reduce injury risk. An optional thing to try for more experienced trainees is a potentiation set. As the final warm-up set, you might take your working weight or even slightly more and do 1 to 2 reps to better acclimate yourself to the working weight. Anecdotally, it seems mostly helpful for compound, technically demanding movements. I don't think it adds much value to every lift, but it's an interesting tool to experiment with. And that's it for today. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything. Thank you so much for watching and go get those gains.